Okay, so in this video we're going to make some dandelion root coffee or dandelion root tea or drink or whichever, and I've already put it together and I'm just going to pour this out. This is what it looks like with just some hot water and roasted dandelion roots after they've been cleaned, and this is actually pretty tasty. And then you can dress it up with milk and sugar, honey, brown sugar, lemon, mint, whatever you want to dress it up, however you like your coffee. Dandelion root is very good for you. Dandelions in general are very good for you. So if you really have to weed your yard like that, and you might as well just dig them up from the root and use and eat the whole plant. So here's 2 dandelions, bottoms up. Yeah, nice and earthy. Yeah, I like, you know, I could have baked these longer so that they have more of a roasted flavor. This actually really, for my liking, it tastes really good. So I harvested some dandelions and from the root up, and it's interesting. Just a few seconds under the water, some of the leaves are actually getting like really green, and what I'm trying to say is that they were like peaked for like 2-3 days, and then as soon as you give them a little bit of water, they're like they're getting green again. So, but so what I want to do is focus on the roots, which obviously when you cut the roots of any plant, you're gonna kill it. But you know, this was peaked like 30 seconds ago. This leaf itself, a little bit of water, and it's been sitting here in my house for like, I don't know, 4 days, 3 days, something like that, and they were like, they were real like, they're dying, is what they were doing. So, anyways, it's amazing. I'm just, you know, some of these obviously are not coming back. You can see that. But anyways, the focus on this video is the roots. So I'm gonna isolate this one. This is a big one. I'll put this over here. But yeah, I mean, dandelion is a plant that you definitely need to pay attention to. Yeah, this is another dandelion root. And again, just don't kill it. Eat it. All right? You want to have your perfect little lawn. Harvest the freaking dandelions. All right? That's all I got to say. So this one here, you know, and again, we're gonna try to isolate this. I'm gonna cut this off here about there, about at the base, about right here. And every time I do this, I think of the Harry Potter movie. Y'all know that if you know, you know, right? And they're screaming, blah 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 blah. I don't, you know, yeah. I feel that way too. But this is what we want, the root. This is what we're gonna focus on in this video. Okay. So the greens, I can do something with them. Medicine, food, etc., etc. But I'm gonna set these aside for now. Alright, so if many of you, when I say like a potato scrubber or something like that, there are such things. This is not necessarily a potato scrubber, but it's close to it. So when you have root vegetables that you harvest, what you want to do is scrub them with your scrubber or potato scrubber. And that gets rid of the dirt and all that other kind of stuff. as you can see, this is a dandelion root, and I'm just scrubbing it. You can go back and forth if you want to. It doesn't have to be in one direction. Like that. And then I'm just going to rinse it off. Okay, so, and again, potato scrubbers, you can buy them at any freaking grocery store. Easy. It's one of those things that you look over, and then when you're looking for it, you can never find it. But then when you actually find it, you're like, oh, I've seen it like all my life. Trust me. So here are some of our scrubbed dandelion roots. And yeah, what we need to do is we can either dry them out, you know, like hang them up or put them in the dehydrator, and then after that we could roast them, or we can, you know, roast them now. But this time around I want them to just dry naturally, and I'll probably harvest some more and get some more so we have more roots to deal with. But yeah, this is what dandelion roots look like. And again, I Harry Potter, that's all I got to say is you know, it's not the plant that they were talking about. It's escaping me at the moment. You guys that are watching this that know what I'm talking about, put it in the description so I can, because if you pull them out they scream. Like, that's what every time I feel with a plant, that's just what it is. You know, when you uproot a plant, that's what I feel. I can feel them and hear them scream. It's weird. It's just, I'm sorry, I'm going there, but yeah. But we're gonna roast these roots and make some coffee. So here we have the dandelion roots that are scrubbed. I let them kind of sit out overnight. Actually, I'm debating on whether I'm going to actually dehydrate them. I do have a dehydrator, or I can let them air dry. But I think on further thought, I'm going to go ahead and bake these as they are. I think my reasoning is that their juices and the constituents within the root itself will kind of compound itself as they, you know, dry or cook or bake within the oven itself. So that's what I'm thinking, as opposed to becoming brittle and air dried. The constituents would still be there, but more widely dispersed, I guess, in my mind. And then you know, baking it, which again, making the baking time a little quicker, most likely, so that, you know, then you know, I have to just would have to worry about burning them and whatnot. So I'll do both at once, right? So baking them, I'll dry them and then make them brittle enough so that they can be ground up to the consistency we need. Alright, so got a pan here, lined it with aluminum foil because these can stain a little bit, and that's alright. So I'm just going to place these roots in here. I wish I had harvested more, but season's not done yet. And again, whenever you find dandelions, for you people out there that can't stand them, you can always dig them up, and there you go. So look down, eat up, you're walking on your food. So I've got these here, and I'm going to put them in 200-degree Fahrenheit heat. That's the oven beeping, letting me know that it's preheated. And I'm just going to let these bake for about 2 hours. Probably going to bake them for another 3 hours. It looks like I might have to do 4 hours, but right now I'm going to do 3 off top, just to see how they turn out. So here's our roasted dandelion roots. It took approximately 3 hours, 3.5 hours for this amount of roots. And then I didn't want to overcook them. I kind of like a milder flavor. I mean, the more you the darker you roast them, the darker the flavor, the richer the flavor. But again, of course, you don't want to burn them. I mean, unless you like charred food. I mean, that's to your taste. But for the amount that I have here, this was just in the oven for 200 degrees for about 3 hours. So at this stage, what I want to do is I just kind of want to break them up because they should be pretty brittle now. Just want to break them up so I can grind them in a mortar and pestle. I can use a little food processor. I got a little coffee grinder. If you've watched some of my videos before, you know, I'm pulling out my same coffee grinder that I just use for herbal stuff. I don't use coffee in it because it can be quite overpowering. So I'm going to take these here, and I've got some water on to boil, and then I'm going to pull my coffee grinder out. And okay, so I've got my coffee grinder. I'm just going to grind these up. And that should do it. I mean, I don't, you know, I might even take these bits here and save them for later. Could probably pound them with a mortar and pestle. But again, I don't need to make this too fine, powdery. Again, I could put these in tea bags. I could grind them up with a food processor if you don't have a coffee grinder. And again, like I mentioned, by hand you can use a mortar and pestle and just grind it. And again, I got some bigger bits here. That's fine. I'll save these for later. And just save these for later, and they'll work perfectly good. I'll probably add them to another batch. So that's really what it is. And so what I'm going to do is I've got my hot water coming to a boil, and I'm going to have my little, this has a sieve in it. Now mind you, what the coffee grinders tend to do is they make them very powdery. So a lot of this will go through the mesh in the sieve here. That's why you might want to use a tea bag. You know, some of them you can fold over, some of them you can use a curling iron and heat them shut or iron them shut. I don't mind a little bit of grit. It doesn't bother me none. So I'm just gonna pour this in here like that, but the big chunks will not get through. And then when the hot water is done, we will actually have our dandelion coffee. Again, there's no caffeine in it, but if you like the flavor of coffee, if you like a tea, dandelion is very, very good for you. It's off the charts. Some many vitamins and minerals. I'll post a link below to where you can go look that up. And yeah, I mean, and it's just a nice little tasty tea-like drink. And then again, if you have a lot of coffee, you want to extend it, or you don't have enough coffee, I mean, you can extend it by adding this as well as chicory to your coffee to make your coffee volume bigger. Alright, so I've got my hot water here. I'm just going to add the hot water and then let this steep for a few minutes. OK, ちょっと来て飲んでみてください。ケイコちゃん、ちょっと飲んで聞いてください。飲んで聞いてみてください。大丈夫。Yeah, I know. ごめん。So just so that it's not just me talking and yeah, 熱い。It's hot. So, and I didn't put any sugar or milk or anything, so that's just straight up. 苦い。It's bitter.
でもまあ麦茶の
麦茶
みたいな感じ。
そうね。でも
それにそう。Tastes like 麦茶 because あれちょっと have nice roasted taste
to it, yeah. And I didn't roast it that long. I could have roasted it
Oishii.
longer. Yeah, it tastes good. Yeah, go in there. But maybe you want a little bit of honey, or no, you just want to taste it. Mugi-chan みたいな。
そう
大丈夫大丈夫。More for me.
ちょっ
Thanks.
と待たないと熱い。
Okay, ごめんね. It's a little too hot, but there you go. It tastes good. It's palatable. You just gotta dress it up how you like it. It tastes like buckwheat tea, a type of tea that we do have around the house, type of tea that you can buy at the store. And yeah, that's a very good comparison. Does taste like buckwheat tea, but again, like I said, more for me. Yay, bottoms up.